Hey there, Cancer. This is Joy with Joy of the World, here to take an intuitive peek into the energies going on around you. Friends and subscribers, welcome back. And if you're new to this channel, be sure you click that subscribe button and ring the bell. They'll notify you anytime I post new videos. Also, if you find you like the content we provide here at Joy of the World, be sure to give us that big thumbs up, like, and share. To those of you who've given donations into our channel, thank you from the bottom of my heart. We've got 4 new decks coming in. They're not here just yet. Their delivery's gotten delayed, but next week's readings, I hope to see them in there. And one set is a deck of moon cards in honor of you guys. I'm definitely thankful for that and looking forward to seeing them. So for now, Cancer, the wisdom coming in my meditation prayer for you guys, they were talking about making sure you know the balance of your energy. Sometimes your heart is so big and devoted, and your mind's eye, your intuition, your intelligence is so forthright that you can get stuck in one energy and relegated to one side. Therefore, a lot of ministry and not a lot of relating and relationship, which brings in that ease to life, that meaning, that like expansion, contraction of the lungs. It really helps the body relax. It really adds a navigation point, is what you're talking about. So, and there you said, remember that the crab takes time to be in the water and on land. In the water and then again on the land. It's that navigating and moving through the energy that allows you to utilize who you are. And in that movement of self is where your intimacy and awareness stays honed, stays crafted, and keeps you from getting too played into allowing your intuition to get stuck in your throat or in your mind's eye, all right, and clouding your judgment as if you're relegated to a certain path and have no choice. And at that point, you get angry, you get belligerent, you get upset, and you get closed off. Not necessarily against others, but almost in a self-destructive mode, okay? So we're wanting to make sure that you have the opportunity to live your best, bright, most beautiful life. And you were talking about warrior energy. So there was a bit of, I would say, a warning, but really just a reminder to protect and conserve your energy. And that doesn't mean defend, like that type of protect. That protection of like, well, just like a car, when you park it in a garage, it lasts a lot longer. It puts a lot less stress on whatever it is. And in this case, that whatever is you, friend. So it puts it reduces the amount of stress that you incur to be conservative of who you are. And that doesn't mean like conservative minded. It just means don't spend it all, don't live it all, that kind of that compulsory energy that if you stay in one facet, that undermines and shortchanges your energy. It gets it caught in like a time loop, a time warp that it's hard to get out of. It's like an eddy in whitewater rafting. They say be careful if you get in that class 4 eddy, because it'll suck you down and you can't come out till it spits you out. And that would not be fun, being in the hands and the power of something else beyond your permission, right? Because life always works with our permission. And so this isn't life, it's just a force or an energy that you got trapped into. And I think that's why you were calling for this bit of wisdom to come in here. So first we're going to get a nice little crown for your spread to put on your beautiful head. Amazing self, you leaders and guides to our world, teaching us I see you right there. Okay. For our world, yes, definitely. Look at that. You see both sides, and that's why they're needing you to live this way and to remember who you are and how you're made. Because then you're not just one-sided, you're multifaceted, and you're a balancing force to our planet. Coming forth from the heart, it's like knowing the good, the bad, and the ugly, and understanding that that's how it is. It clears up your judgment, and that doesn't mean judging of others. Our judgment is how do we navigate, how do we go about, what do we do with this information that's coming in, and it keeps your eyes aligned and your chart clear. Okay, you're showing it to me like tuning the strings of each of your planets, of your alignments, like your oppositions, your squares, your sextiles, that type of thing. And it's not even about one being better than the other. Ooh, a square is bad. It's none of that. You're talking about when the strings are tuned, the music plays, and that is music to your ears, and your heart is rich and full and abundant. I love that for you, Cancer. And since you're pointing and talking about the eyes, you're like, get over their joy and get us one of our angelarium. And I am glad to. Let me take a look. Ooh, Fanuel, baby. The truth and submission. Surrender that awesomeness about yourself, Cancer. Why not? Huh? Your symphonic heart. The language of love, baby. And that is music. Going to a cafe, having some good conversation, some quaint, intimate conversation with a friend or a loved one, right? Okay, so let's get an angelarium for you here. Let's speak forth. Who's coming forth with Cancer to really seal in this beautiful wisdom and flow? I see you. Thank you. Malkuth, why not the whole kingdom? It's not the water or the land. It's the water and the land. That's what they're talking about, a unifying energy of knowing that the power that you've been given to this Cancerian energy is that it puts you heads and shoulders above the rest. It's almost like an owl energy. You see that orb that is like your head. It's like a snow globe or a wisher globe or a glitter globe, right? It has a 360 perspective. Being able to see all sides and all angles like the divine, being the divine self. You can look at it from any which way, and you can look at it like this. The only thing obscured is the bottom and what holds it. All right? So take time, they're saying, to rest your weary head, to make sure you get some mental rest. It's not just sleep and closing of the eyes, but when you close your eyes, it's like you start tuning into your heart, tuning those streams, and you begin to feel, you're calling them streams. That's interesting. Tuning your streams, getting that intimate dialogue that transcends words, which is why it was getting stuck in your throat, transcending words to feel the flow, the cosmic flow, and how it's interacting with you so that it doesn't trigger trust issues. So it keeps you well versed in the language of love. You have me reaching over here. That's not where I thought we were going, but talk about this kingdom for a minute here, okay? Let us know about this symphony and the reflecting and resting of the mind. Things are looking up, baby. You are equal to the energies around you. There's nothing up above you. You're all of it, and it is all of you. You are one and harmonious, and to know that there's nothing being cut from you. It's almost showing me like the energy of a young child, like 4, 5, 6, 7, where, you know, it's getting near holiday or birthday or Christmas, and they're told, you need to go to bed, you need to go to bed, and they're wanting to stay awake because they're sure they're going to miss something, or that people are going to forget about the special day, or they're going to miss out that something's being cut from you. But it's obvious here that you're telling me it is not being cut from you. There's nothing being withheld from you. This is you. You are the kingdom. You are the magic. You are the world. This is your perspective. All right, so this is going to balance it and come in over here. So now let's get our cards for Cancer of what we've got. If those are 3, you're staying. Let's see, 1, 2, 3. There we are. All right. Oh, how nifty. We're going to work this together here, baby. Right on. Take a look at the split. Birthing that whole new world. Bringing in. You're calling it happiness, which is true. Happiness is the cellular, spiritual cellular makeup of what our particles actually are. We are happy. So if you don't feel happy, you're not in your divine energy, and you just need to recall that nothing is withheld from you. Nothing is out of reach. Everything is here because you are your world, friend. All right? So we're going to start in the center where we began, about how it comes down to that partnership. No more ministry. Doesn't mean ever, ever, ever. But they're talking about now getting in that thing about relationship, partnership, beginning that relationship with yourself, that two-way street of the water and the land, right? About the light and the dark, having that wholeness, having the access to the abundance. So under this, we have the Spirit of Cups coming in. It's almost made your head heavy. And there's like a perplexion and a frustration of like not understanding is what I see going on. But I think this is really reiterating about getting stuck in the one energy, Can you see it's almost like being trapped by the figures of your mind? Okay, you're talking about you can't see the world like the world sees the world, because that's a generation. That is like a bot, a bug, a thing, a program that needs to be overridden. It's like when you get your computer in or your phone or whatever, there are margins and parameters that are set as the default mode. They're saying define your default mode. What defines you? How do you see things? And don't get hemmed in by the going thinking, the going flow, the going energy. Like if like a going style of music, if it's not your jam, you don't have to go with it. If you're at a buffet and you don't like olives, you do not have to stick them on your plate. What it's talking about is don't think that you have to see this spirituality, this thing of your soul, to be so benevolent towards everyone else. Let me tell you, when you're good to yourself, you are good to everyone. That's how it operates in and of its own energy, in a nutshell. If we will navigate what we have permission over, the self-control, the access to ourself, and that abundance, that wholeness and fullness of nothing being held back, then why would you hold anything back from the world? So you're saying don't take on any ideas or idealism that is beyond you, any concepts that aren't you. You should go with what your strengths are and what's right in front of you, what's very common and familiar to you. All right, that might seem off base because we've been in the self-help guru stage for 20, 30 something years of let's work on what's wrong with us. But the Cancerian, your heart, the heart is what's right. And not right or wrong. Remember that judgment energy, it's the knowing, okay, so that you can live and exist and have your being and your amness, right? Being able to operate in that, and that brings about the lightness of heart that sets you free from this captive burden of the din, the noise, like the white noise swishing around your head. So then that's when you become head and shoulders above the rest, and not above others, above that din, above that noise, above that low-lying energy, like it's almost like a vibration of the planet, like a static and a discharge, because it hasn't been tuned. So no matter what master plays the instrument, it's just going to be noise, okay? So getting in tune with yourself, understanding your scope, your perspective, your vision, your chart, the eye of God, who you are and what you came here for, and how you operate, opens up your permission to succeed. All right, y'all, the camera fell, so I get to pick back up from here. That was crazy. But talk about a heavy head, right? It was just this energy. The camera could feel you. It was coming down with you, baby. And it's like, no more. Let's be head and shoulders above the rest. Let's stand in our order and our magic and our ability to succeed. That the only limits we have set around us are those that we choose to set. And now, yeah, sky's the limit. We could do that whole thing, but they found that often people's confidence and security really gets bolstered when you have parameters set. That could be goal setting. That could be routine setting. That could be any of that. That when you set it, it gives you something to aim for, like a bullseye, and then you can surpass it. You can move through that like a channel and a gate, but it gives you that form that really kind of exalts your water instead of undermining your water. It gives you that bit of land. Remember that foundation, that base chakra type energy going on here. And it draws the attention of others. I could say worship. It is not like, hail, people bowing at you. But it's more like mentor-mentee type energy, or like teacher and student, that type of fostering, or parent and child. It puts things in the proper balance, and not to have a power differential, but to have a directional energy. That's awesome. I absolutely love that, Cancer. And now remember this channel that came in here, that nothing is held back from you. You have full access to your world, and you're equal to and with it, which is perfect, because it's like, in cells it's called osmotic balance, but right here I hear you saying, I'm laughing to myself, y'all. Cosmotic balance. That's hilarious. It deletes the calculation of pressure, because when the pressure inside the cell is balanced with the pressure outside the cell, it removes, it cancels it out. So you're talking about nothing is kept from you and there is no pressure. This is you living effortlessly. And you talk about cosmotic balance. That's what we were divined for. That's what know thyself. That command, know thyself, that's what it's for. Is it removes that differential between yourself and yourself. It makes you whole-minded. The dark and the light, right? The water and the land. It's like, wow, the ampersand, the and is everything. Because then we don't play devil's advocate anymore. Then we don't have these trust issues because we are one with ourselves. And when we're like that, the peace, the joy, the song, the rhythm, the life, the drum beat, all of that, it exalts and it lifts up and it puts us in our happy state where we're able to navigate our world and to, like, you're saying dictate, but you don't mean like dictator. You mean like call it out and so it is. That type of like dictation, that type of thing of being completely heard. Oh, and that makes life so much easier for you. To feel heard to a Cancerian is everything. Because then you know those who are in your life with you, they share the same heart. There is no usurping, backstabbing, all those nasty, gross energies that you've just like, you're like, that's outside my world. Putting that out to the trash heap, that type of energy. And I love it because under this is Mayat. Mayat is a form of like judgment and justice, strength, power, life, cosmic, everything. Look at her right here. She's talking about it's effortless because you see there are no hands or no arms. There's just your wings. And wings have to do with our divine movement, things moving quickly, effortlessly, easily, without any blockages, blockades, conditions, that type of thing. There are no toll booths in this type of travel, okay? Remember, it's already all paid for. It's already all divined. So there's a strong Taurian energy coming in here. So you might be led to a Taurus video. There's one that's talking about, it could be talking about success, creativity, but also stress. One like that, not stress like bad things are going to be happening, but how to move about in this new union. I see why you're talking about Taurus, because that's a big energy. When you take the water or the land, that keeps it small, right? It's a this or that. But when you talk about coming together, it becomes a bigger energy. And you want to know how to move through that strength and that compassion and that power. I love it. I love it. What do I want to get? What do I want to get? We're going to get one of these to lead you forward into this, Cancer. I love it. I love that the stars shine and smile for you. Having access to your whole fine self. Let's see what we got. Let's take us forward from this reading for Cancer. I hear you. Okay. 12. To me, that is the divine number. It's a number of completion. Like, it's a number of perfection. That's the best way to say it. I know perfection triggers some people. Well, let's trigger it. Perfection, 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 perfection. Hey, you're perfect. That's what we need to know here. And that is the temple path. It's not just the journey. It's not just the destination. It's all all of them, all of it, the whole thing. But that's what you were talking about here from the beginning. It's the reiteration. But I love how it's brought in that golden energy. Like, no more battling of the will, of the effort, of that strenuousness, of the exertion of self, of mind, of getting stuck in your own throat, getting trapped in your own truth. But having that permission to be your own form of success, your own idea of life and of living, and bringing in your world, exalting your world and enjoying life the way you see it. And these energies begin to draw to you. Can you see the orbs coming in and around? Those are like outside permissions and insistence. Like, your thoughts and your beliefs become energies, like balls of energy that come to join along with you to facilitate, you're saying, the eruption of, like, the manifestation of the tangible world, the world that you can touch, this cosmic energy becoming accessible to yourself in your world. I love it, Cancer. That's exciting. Hey, we'll talk soon. I love you. Bye.